Hey friends, my name is Pete Matheson, and in 2011 I started my own IT business, and over the years I grew that into a 7-figure business, and then early this year in 2020 we sold the business. In this video I just wanted to touch on 3 books, 2 that shaped that business and the journey that I went through, which helped it build and grow into what it was when we sold it, as well as 1 book that I recently read that I wish I had whilst running my last business. Now the good news here is that if you want one of these books, then you can for free. All you need to do is sign up for a free 30-day trial of Audible using the link down below. As always, links are down below in these videos, but you will always get to keep that book forever. So there's kind of a neat little hack. I also read somewhere that if you're already an Amazon Prime member, then you actually get 2 free books. But since I'm already a Prime member, I don't really know that. So maybe if you just drop a comment below if you did, then that'll be cool. Anyway, on to the first book, and this is one that I'm sure I've blabbed on about in most of my videos before, and it is Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. I will address the obvious concern that I and many other people when you see the title of this book, Profit First, which is that this book is not just about taking all of the money, becoming super rich and just that's it. But instead, Profit First teaches you a super simple but fairly clever way of managing both your personal and your business money. To quote a section from the book on kind of why you need this. Why do you want to grow? Well, I want to grow so that my company can manage more clients and generate more sales, she said. Why do you want to do that? She looked at me as if I was an alien. So that my company is bigger, Mike. Why would you want a bigger company? I asked. So I can make more money, she responded. Why not just make more money now? If you want to grow to make money for yourself one day, you're playing a game of kick the profit down the road. It is all about how making small adjustments over time can have a big impact. But this book also addresses a huge proportion of businesses and business owners, including some that I know myself, who put their entire life into running their own businesses. Oh, this sounds much like me. They keep their staff and their customers happy and generally run great businesses, but they take next to nothing from the business, sometimes not even a salary or even minimum wage because they can't afford to. And that is where this book really gets going. If you get a $1,000 deposit, I'm telling you, starting today, transfer $10 into your profit account. If you can run your business off $1,000, you can surely run it off $990. If you get $20,000 in deposits, you transfer $200 into your profit account. If you can run your business on $20,000, you absolutely can run it off $19,800. You'll never miss that 1%. It is a low bar. And once you dig further into the book, it goes through the method in more detail, which you can use to make sure credit card debts are paid off quickly, to make sure you have enough money to pay the bills, and on the business side, enough money to pay your staff, your taxes. You can save up for new office equipment, staff bonuses, and yes, of course, profit. And it does take you through the process gradually, setting targets for how to slowly decrease your operating costs, making sure that you're getting more reinvested back into the business to help it grow, to fund the future expansion. And of course, that then flows through to your personal financial lives as well. If you are currently running a business and you have 1 bank account, maybe 2, then please do read this book. It will dramatically change and improve your lives, I promise. Even our accountant read this book and implemented Profit First in one of their other businesses. Book number 2 is not that one. Book number 2 is They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan, someone who I'll actually have the pleasure of hearing speak at a virtual summit I'm attending next week. I don't actually physically own the book, as I did actually listen to this one on Audible, and I digested everything they said and I didn't have to buy the book. They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan teaches you how your businesses can get much better at its sales process by a super simple format. Answer the questions that your customers ask before they ask them. Think about when you go into a meeting with a new customer, that very, very first meeting, and replay in your mind all of the questions that you get asked repeatedly every single meeting. Who are you? What's your background and experience? What's your hourly rate? Why are you suggesting X instead of Y? Why are you so cheap? Why are you so expensive? How long does it take? What are the risks? How are those risks overcome? What happens if? There are hundreds and perhaps thousands of questions that over time you will consistently be asked by your customers. And this book teaches you how best to address those questions, how to build your online content marketing machine, which will lead to inbound sales, which is where new customers are calling you up. But instead of potentially wasting your time by booking a meeting and then asking all of those same questions and realizing that you're not a good fit, well, instead they're calling up to essentially sign up, since all of their questions have already been answered. You will see more sales come into your business, more traffic on your website, perhaps YouTube subscribers will go up, and you will see a return on your investment, slowly, admittedly, and over time. And I'm a big fan of small actions that have slow but dramatic impact on your business, rather than the direct do X and it will generate Y. Because small actions actually adjust the way that your business operates. It makes you a healthier business because it builds your brand up as being a market leader in your market. So if you are looking to improve the quality of leads through to your business, improving your sales process, then I'd highly recommend reading They Ask, You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. Now on to the final book, which I do have, which is one I wish I actually read many moons ago, which is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And this is kind of what it says on the tin, to an extent. Tim has a fantastic way of writing to explain his journey and takes you through the steps of running a business, being a business leader, but also to have the freedom and, importantly, time to live your life. It is his methodology. It is his methodology that I'm applying to all of my future business ventures, because as a business owner, and technically now a multiple business owner, I know how easy it is to be pulled from pillar to post over the most trivial things day to day. The number of times I'll be trying to get my head down and yet be getting asked questions left, right and centre about things that others in your business, most of the time even the people asking the questions themselves, could answer. And so this book is all about how to engineer your business to solve all of those issues. It is a brilliant book that shows you how to build and scale your business while still being able to live in different countries. And I think this is actually a really important book, particularly now with business owners super stressed about surviving the oncoming, whatever it is, COVID-19 pandemic. Mental health is going just through the floor for many people who are shut away from home or unable to work. And this book isn't just one of those positive affirmation type books where you finish reading, all inspired, ready to break out into the world to do your thing. And then the weekend comes, family gets in the way, someone gets a cold, a member of staff calls in sick, customer calls to complain, and all of those just normal life things happen and you never get to do what you set out to do. This book actually has plenty of resources that you can use, and it points you into the right direction for places where you can look to outsource tasks, finding a PA or VA, things you can just copy and replicate in your own business with just a few minor adjustments. So if you are working your butt to the bone, never finding a few minutes to spare, coming home in the evening and getting straight back to work again, then please find the time somehow to read this book. It will show you that you can achieve the same amount and likely so much more just by working smart, which inevitably means to working less, having a far better work-life balance, less stress, less anxiety in your life, and it just generally makes you happier. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss is all about how to bring in that money each and every month without having to work 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, 365 days per year, as many business owners out there are doing. And even if you aren't a business owner, it gives you some pretty inspirational advice about how you can start a side hustle while still in full-time employment, which can then grow to provide your full salary, meaning you can leave your job and head into early retirement, working only that few hours per week. Anyway, those are my 3 on Audible book recommendations from over recent years. I would love to know what book recommendations you have, which book has changed your life, whether that is on Audible or it's a physical paper copy. Drop them in the comments below. Which book have you read that has had an impact on your life? Don't forget that you can get one of these books completely free by signing up for an Audible trial using the link below. Let us know which books you went for. That is all for this one. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.